Welcome back to Savannah Techie. I'm your host, Rafael Ndwiga. This is video number 5. In video number 1 to 4, we have gone through the journey of creating a new YouTube account from scratch. We have looked at creating a Google account, creating a YouTube channel. We have also looked at creating a thumbnail using Canvas. And at the same time, we have also gone to YouTube and utilized, looked at what it has to offer with regards to free music and sound effects that we can use on our channel. So I have already gone through it, and the video I had my selection of which particular audio track I will be using. With regards to the canvas, we had we started from an image, and then from that particular image we created an animation for it. This is the animation. You can see the animation was brought about by animating the text in the thumbnail itself. So in this particular video, we will be looking at the following. We'll be looking at selection. We'll be looking at the selection of software to use when you're doing screencast from your laptop, and how you go about setting it up. For me, the software that I have been using so far is called Obs Studio. Okay, so Obs Studio. So what's Obs Studio? Obs Studio is a free and open software for video recording and live streaming. In this, you can be able to stream to YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, or even Logitech. And as you can see, it has some good supporters. Now, the beauty about OBS Studio, apart from it being free, is that it's available for every platform. You can be able to install it on Windows, you can be able to install it on a Mac, you can also be able to install it on Linux. And apart from having different installations, you're able to, when peruse through the documentation, able to get a guide on how to do the specific installation on each of the given platform, that is Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. I am primarily a Linux user, and as such I already have OBS installed on my device, and this is how it looks like. When you install OBS the first time, you're able to give an auto configuration wizard. In this particular wizard, you have two options. You have optimize for streaming, recording secondary, and then you have optimize just for recording, and I will not be streaming. So in this particular instance, I'm interested with just recording, not streaming yet, but we'll do streaming later on. So select that particular for recording, then you go next. When you go next, it has video settings, whereby you can be able to see the base canvas is 1920 by 1080, and the frame per seconds, we're talking about the frames per second, it's either between 30 or 60. So when you select next, the OBS will start doing testing of the encoder on your machine. It usually takes a little bit of some time, depending on the speed of your machine. You can see mine has already reached 92%. And once it is complete with the testing, it will give you the best configurations that you can use for that particular session. All you have to do is click on apply settings. Okay, so how do you use OBS? OBS has a concept of what we call scenes and sources. So scenes is what you can term as a part one, and part one with multiple sources, and part 2 with that, and part 2, part 3 with so on. So we already created a canvas animation, as you can see what we are currently playing, and we'll be using this together with the audio recordings. So to do that one, we'll go to our first scene and click on the plus button. The plus button, we will be selecting the audio source as media source. I'm selecting the first source as media source. This media source allows us to select that particular animation that we created. So we create a new source. We call it part 1 intro. Click OK, and then on the local file, we click browse, and we navigate to where we downloaded the animation, the animation art. Okay, so that particular animation, we call it part 1 thumbnail. So we select it, then we click OK. So it starts when it's a little bit on the top right. So we transform it and say fit or sketch to screen so that it fits, and then you can replay it. So since the short animation, we can go to properties and have it loop, so that immediately if it finishes playing, then it loops again, so the screen doesn't have to be blank as it is. And then the next thing, we add another source, and this particular source will add a media source. Okay, and this particular media source, we will add the YouTube track that we downloaded from YouTube library. So this will be the channel music that we'll be using for intros and outros. So we do the same thing, where we select the media source and then select the local, and then once in the local, we select the file that we downloaded. And now when you click on any of those particular ones, we'll go to the various assets will start playing. So since that we have set up the first scene, then we'll add a second scene. We call it a video. And this particular second scene will add a media source, and this particular media and this particular source, media source, will add it as the video that we had shot on earlier. So that's the part 1 video. Okay, and for part 1 video, once we've added it, okay, we will hit on start recording, and when you start recording, the recording will start from whichever scene you are currently on. So the advice usually is that you start from the first scene. The first scene is where we have selected 2 sources. We have the source for the animated thumbnail, and the music, the music track, and to be able to navigate from one scene to the other, we make use of what we call scene transition. So scene transition basically means that how do you move from one scene to the other. So currently we have faded scene transition, and from the drop down you can have multiple. You can be able to see you have different kinds of transition that are currently there in place. So what I will do is that I will stop this particular recording, and I will follow through what I have guided you, and I will post a video that shows that combines the 3 different sources that we currently do have. That's all with regards to this particular part. Thank you for watching.